Hi guys, today I'm doing a paranormal experience video. So before I start anything with this video, I just quickly want to say you guys should download the app Periscope. I'm not being paid to say this, they don't even know I'm doing this, but it's basically a live streaming app and you guys should follow me. My username is BrookeChristii, the same way it's spelled on Twitter, and I've just been really wanting to live stream lately, and if you guys follow me, it'll basically just notify you when I go live so you can watch me. So yeah. Here's the video, here's what you asked for, here's what you came here for. This video is kind of different and I just want to say a couple things before I get into my stories. Over the past couple years, I've had a couple experiences that I'm going to tell you guys about, but the reason I never really did a video about this was I didn't want you guys to call me a liar or tell me my stories are fake, and I also just didn't want to come across as like stupid. Like, I just don't need those things in my life. My experience aren't anything super crazy, but they're things that like I don't really have answers for. I'm just gonna tell you guys. I hope you enjoy, and if you're into ghost stories and stuff like this, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. So I want to say a couple years ago there was this story that went around my neighborhood where there was this one house that was, I think, just a block away from my place. They'd been hearing weird noises for a really long time from, I believe, the little girl's bedroom, and so obviously being parents, you want to investigate. You don't need your little girl being in trouble, so apparently they called like ghost hunters or something along the lines of that. Apparently they found in that room a creepy guy in the closet, and apparently he was trying to hurt the little girl, but then there was an old woman who would sit in the rocking chair in the corner of the bedroom who would protect the little girl from the man hurting her. I know this sounds crazy and I don't really have a backstory to tell you guys like the things they were hearing. I assumed they would see things move maybe, or hear thumps or something, just kind of common noises, but wasn't my experience, so I can't really tell you. So now moving on to my experience with my house that happened maybe 1 or 2 years ago. I'm not quite familiar. This story can get really confusing really quick, so I'm gonna try my best to not screw up. So just try to listen carefully. So this one night, all my family and I went to bed. There's myself, my brother, my mom, and my dad. So I'm gonna start off with my dad's half of the story. He went to bed and apparently he heard footsteps in his bedroom, and with my parents' bedroom they have hardwood flooring, so it's a very distinct noise. If you have hardwood flooring in your house, you know the certain creaks it makes and when people are walking on it versus, you know, if it just cracks on itself. So my dad just thought that I was walking in the room because I used to be really well known for sleepwalking, and he just figured like it was me. So apparently he got up to check and nobody was there, and so it really freaked him out because obviously you hear someone walking in your room and you don't see anyone, like, hello. I could be mistaken, but I'm almost positive that he felt like someone was standing directly beside him, and again he thought it was me, but there was no one there, and so it didn't make sense. So moving on to my mom's side of the story, she didn't know that my dad was hearing this stuff, and my dad didn't know that my mom was hearing this stuff. They both thought each other was asleep and they didn't want to wake each other. So my mom also heard the footsteps and she felt like someone was in the room, but she didn't want to say anything to my dad because, like I said, she thought he was sleeping. So moving on to my side of the story, so when you're walking towards my bedroom in my house, you kind of have to like walk down like the hall type thing, and then there's like a curve. Where the curve is, if you step in one particular spot, it's a little creek, and I know that creek so well because I step on it all the time, and it's like right outside my bedroom door, and it's such a distinct sound that it can't, like, it has to be man-made. So I heard that noise and I was like, oh, like, well, I wasn't like, oh, I was freaking the fuck out because I thought someone was about to come into my room. I was kind of awake and like I didn't see that anyone was like near my door. In my room I have carpet flooring and I'm right above the garage, so there's a ton of distinct noises that I know very well, and I heard somebody come into my room. So now I'm dead awake because I think someone's gonna kill me, and I'm sitting there and I'm just watching. I don't know if this is weird, and I'm sure a lot of you people are gonna think I'm crazy, but if I think somebody is there, I try to talk to it. I kind of introduce myself. I try to let them know I'm a good person, and I just say, if you're in the room, like, give me a sign. Right as I said sign, I saw like a flash, because basically my bed's here and then there's like an angled wall that I like am basically looking onto if I'm laying in my bed, and I just saw like a flash. And all my blinds are on like this side of the wall. It's kind of hard to explain, but it was pitch dark. It was like 4 a.m. There was no cars. I live on such a small street where nobody could drive that fast, like just like a flash, you know what I mean? So it couldn't have been a car. It didn't sound like a car. It didn't sound like anything. I just saw a flash. And then there was nothing. Then the next morning, I'm talking to my parents and I'm like, oh my god, like I think I saw a ghost last night. Basically in the morning, we all kind of connected our stories. The fact that this happened to all of us, we know that there was definitely somebody in our house. The weird part is though, this ghost didn't go to visit my brother. It's just so unexplainable to me, and whoa, that scared me. Oh my god. So my next story is kind of weird. Again, I don't know how to explain it without sounding crazy, but this happened in my bedroom back at home, which is where the previous story, I just hit my tripod, that was weird, but that's where my previous story took place as well. So I was sleeping at night one night, as someone would, and all of a sudden I heard footsteps. So it startled me. I know for a fact it was footsteps because I had already experienced my previous story, so I was like, okay, this is exactly the noise I heard before. I don't hear this all the time, so like someone has to be in my room. So I tried talking to them. They wouldn't give me signs, they wouldn't give me anything. I shit you not, I was laying on my back when this happened. I turned to my side and I saw a face of a little girl with curly hair. The only thing though is I couldn't see her distinct face. All I could see was her face shape and her hair. And as soon as I rolled over, I felt a cool, like a really cold breeze come onto me. I had no windows open, the air conditioning wasn't on, nothing. It was so unexplainable. I didn't feel it on the rest of my body. It was just my face. So the fact that I saw someone and I felt this cool breeze, I was instantly like scared but interested. Can you? I remember I was talking to this spirit because I asked what they wanted. And I remember they said one word to me. I'm pretty sure it said something along the lines of, "You're safe." Obviously that's crazy, but I know what I heard. It was a whisper, but it was a very strong whisper, so I could make out the words. And I sound crazy saying it, but like I know my experience, I know what happened. So that kind of freaked me out, and after it said that word, it was gone. It was done. I guess it had to tell me what it had to tell me, but it was done. So moving to college now, I haven't had any weird experiences up until the point where I started getting a little interested into the Ouija board. I don't know if you guys have tried the Ouija board. I am actually very interested in trying it. A lot of people say don't. A lot of people have mixed feelings about it, and I know that there are a lot of experience videos on the internet that people swear like don't try it, it'll fuck you up basically. But I'm intrigued. In saying that, I don't need bad shit happening to me because that already happens on the daily. I started watching a ton of those types of videos on YouTube, which then led me to a ton of creepy videos of ghost sightings and stuff like that on YouTube as well. So that night, I remember I just watched so many videos. I was so into it, and stupid me, I was like, oh, I have to sleep tonight so I can go to class tomorrow. With this experience, I didn't sleep that well. This could totally be paranoia, but I'm positive what I saw. So after I shut my computer off and stopped watching these videos, I went to get into bed and I felt kind of a pressure of my blankets. My blankets, I don't tuck them in. There's nothing that could, you know, make it really tense for me to pull them up. It was almost like there was a very heavy force on my blankets not allowing me to pull my blankets up. If you guys look, this is the end of my bed. It's all just draped, you know? So that was strange. I stopped pulling and kind of investigated, and then I gave it a real big tug, and now my blankets were like at my neck. So that was weird. I then proceeded to go to sleep. And if you guys see my clothing rack here, I swear to you, there was a man, a tall man right here, just standing right there. He was tall, he was lanky, he was wearing a blazer. Again, I didn't see his face, and there have been stories where a lot of the time you think you see people, you don't see their face. So that scared me a lot because I felt like I was going to get attacked. I remember staring at this object or ghost or whatever it was for a really long time, and there's no way that you can mistake a clothing rack for a tall lanky man wearing a blazer. I know a lot of you might say, oh, you saw the shadow of your clothing rack. No, like he was like right here, like my clothing rack is here. The second I blinked or looked away, the man was gone. And the weird part was the only sign I got was the tension of my blankets. And since that day, I haven't had anything happen again. My last story, which again is unexplainable. Okay, so I had an encounter one time when I was at my boyfriend's house, and this was really recent and it freaked me the hell out. So basically my boyfriend and I were lying on his bed and like just cuddling. He had his arm behind me. I could feel his hand and I knew it was there. But what didn't make sense to me was that I felt his hand up by my shoulder blade when in reality it was down by my hip. Because I remember feeling that there was a hand on my back and it felt close to my shoulder blade, and like I just got confused because there was no way that he could stretch his arm that far. So I was like, babe, is your hand on me? He goes, yeah, and he like moves it, it's down by my goddamn hip. Which means there was a hand of some sort on my shoulder blade. It felt like a kind of claw on my back. I knew there was a certain pressure. It felt like a hand. I told my boyfriend, he didn't believe me. Well, kind of, I don't know. He like doesn't like talking about that type of stuff, which I understand why, but it sketched me out. Those are my paranormal experiences. I hope that you guys were interested by them. Definitely weird things, and I'm not making up any of this. I don't need you guys commenting down below being like, oh my god, she's making this up so she can get like views or something stupid. Like, these were my experiences. A lot of people believe in ghosts, a lot of people don't. Comment down below if you guys have ever had weird ghost experiences, or even if you've played with a Ouija board, how your experience was with that. I've been kind of thinking about making a makeshift Ouija board for a while, but I'm scared of what will happen, so we'll see about that. But till next time, I hope you guys have a great day, and I love you all very much. So yeah, that's it for me. I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.